Alright guys, welcome back. We will be doing a quick review on Digibyte and then also a technical analysis. Now, with such promising technologies and being pioneers with regards to their developments, why is this coin still fairly low? In fact, why is it not even in the top 25? And by essence, it seems to have gotten a name tag of the sleeping giant. So there's really one conclusion that I came to why Digibyte has not really been in the forefront of people's minds, people talking about it, is simply because, look, they never went the ICO route at all. And they decided to build the project and the awareness of the project really from grassroots, word of mouth, and that's really it. And when you take that approach, it does take a very, very long time to succeed in terms of getting popularity and starting a trend and getting word out there. But that's the way the community decided to do things, and whether it's right or wrong, at the end of the day, Digibyte is still around. And what is interesting, this seems to be chugging along like a little choo-choo train, like a little digi choo-choo train, and it's going up, but very slow and very methodically. So it's a very interesting project. It's not a project that's really flash with any type of media that's going to blow you out the mind and be the hottest trend for this month or for a couple of months, and then it's just always been in the background. And it's just this lumbering, sleeping little giant that's, just chugging away. It's interesting. Okay, so our first stop here is we just got to have a look here. So volume has actually dropped down quite drastically in about 24 hours, about 62%. As you can see, it's rated 97 currently. That's why it should be really in the top 25. It's currently trading at 6 cents, and yeah, if we have a look at its all-time, it's just really, like I said, it's just chugging along. It's got these little volatility spikes up here, but nothing too wow. Then comes back down again, consolidates a little bit and goes up. It's not a little chug run itself, so that's quite interesting. It did pull an all-time high, it came screaming back down again. So very interesting trade, but overall structurally it is going up itself. So yeah, like I said, it's just in the background. Don't mind me, I'm just dragging along. Alright, okay, so let's get into some technical stuff here. Okay, so this is just the daily charts. Now the gray here is just the weekly trend lines that I've set. I've also got these are just my daily trend lines, and these are just my hourly trend lines that I've actually set the blue. As you can see, my weekly itself. But let's zoom in a bit and go into the hourly and find out what is going on here. Okay, so structurally, I've got a bit of concern. So what we've got here is a ascending, broadening pattern, and ultimately how these things work is bounces up, comes down, bounces up, comes down, and then it does bounce up, but then they typically get smacked down very hard, and they either go down here or they end up being smacked all the way down here. So these ascending, broadening patterns are actually very bearish itself, but short term, over the next potentially next week, it is looking very bullish itself. So I am predicting potentially about 8 cents rise and then smack back down again. However, this is all due to volume. Volume has got to kick in. It's all about volume at the end of the day, but it's got to start kicking in. So I am predicting a price prediction of about 8 cents, where it's going to find some difficulty really between here and here, and then potentially get smacked down again itself, potentially retest here and then go back up and then smack back down again, and then hopefully round about here start consolidating a little bit and then look to try and jump back up. but these do tend to smack very hard down, and the lowest point that I'm seeing is about 3 cents itself, and then try and recover and look at pushing back up again. So what is also very interesting here, why I've got a bit of a bullishness, is again I've got the 50-day moving average about to cross the 200 moving day average, so I've got a bit of a golden cross happening here, so hence got a bit of bullish momentum kicking in. But I've got a little bit of concern with this. So this is a bit of an anomaly to me. This is showing me a bit of market manipulation, because it's unnatural. This is completely unnatural, and it seems to have broken up this type of pattern slightly, whereas over here it should have actually shot up there and then start gradually going back down again, but it didn't do that. It did that here unnaturally, and I believe this is most likely market manipulation. It seems to have disrupted this pattern a little bit, and it just seems slightly disorientated, but I am looking nonetheless for this to push up, as mentioned, to about there and then smack back down. Okay, so let's have a look at the larger time frames and see what's actually happening. So just bear in mind, this doesn't necessarily have to play out like this. Ultimately, if we have a look here, got another bit of a wedge coming down here, and then that there, got another wedge actually coming here, down again, coming to about here, pushing up. So as you can see, typically take this down, rise again, down, and it should snake its way up there again. And this particular feature doesn't need to play out, so we could potentially just have a sideways action as well. But that's pretty much the sum of these scenarios itself. But ultimately, this is what I'm looking at over here as a price action. So remember that figure, 8 cents as a target. Okay, so let me just get rid of all of this stuff, and then we'll zoom out and have a look at the daily. Okay, so the daily does actually paint a slightly different picture. So if I just get rid of this and just get rid of that as well, we almost seen a bit of a cup and handle. So if I just go here and I'll do this, up like so, back down, typically this is very bullish. And again, we could potentially see a rise up here, break through this resistance, and potentially again look at about 9 cents, where we could look at a bit of consolidation period up here, test here, test here again, test here again, and then make a complete breakout itself. So from a day time frame, it's very bullish. It's extremely bullish. From a 1 hour chart, it's looking as a short term also very bullish, but again with that broadening ascending wedge, if you can call it that, is ultimately a very bearish sign. But when it comes to these cup and handles, typically you want your handle to be about either a fifth or a quarter of the size of the actual cup itself, and it seems to be doing that, hence why it's meeting all the criterias of a proper cup and handle. But then again, it actually needs volume to actually confirm this rise, because you could have a fake breakout, and it does happen, where this gets rejected again and this smacks back down itself. So I'm looking here reasonably as 0.4 cents as potential re-entries itself, with a very minor stop loss around about here, but ultimately try and consolidate and shoot up. However, if it does shoot through, I'm looking to smack up to 8 cents. Alright, and the last thing, we need to actually just have a look at its Fibonacci retracement. So I'll just get rid of that, clean up here a little bit, and just go here. If I take this, we'll go here and just, whoops, go here, I'll zoom in a little bit. As mentioned, it's just going to have a bit of a hard slog up here itself. So let's just see what happens. But yeah, if it breaks through, then of course I'm expecting around about this levels here between 91 and 9 cents to start potentially just smacking on the door there and just consolidates a bit more. But look, if it does actually shoot through itself, then I'm expecting it to go up to literally 1 cent itself. So sorry, up to 11 cents itself. So if it does that, what I would suggest is that you start deleveraging if you are using leverage, but also start to take profits as well, because the whole point of the game is to keep your profits. So as it starts rising, because this is exactly what I do, if it starts breaking levels that it needs to, and I can see it's still going on its bullish trend, I start taking profits out itself, because ultimately you don't know where the top is at the end of the day. And if you're expecting to wait for the top, it's going to come unexpectedly and you're going to end up losing most of your profits. So the smart thing to do is, if it is breaking through some of your targets, just start taking out some of your profits. It's the smart thing to do at the end of the day. All right, so this is ChrisTrade. Please leave a comment in the section. Please like and subscribe. It really does help this channel out. Please shoot over to my Twitter account as well. It's ChrisTrade4. And yeah, please join, like and subscribe there as well. Well, follow me, subscribe, but yeah, follow me. And yeah, I mean, please let me know also down in the comment what other coins you would like me to do technical analysis on or reviews on. But I do have another one coming out tomorrow, which is with Avalanche. So very interesting project, and again, I'll do another technical analysis on that one, where I will attempt to predict where the price will be going or what the actual trend is for Avalanche. All right, so this is ChrisTrade. This is Digibyte. Is this coin for you? Let me know in the comment section. Peace.